Hi, my name is Tiana Karamayas and I'm a Cavoodle puppy coach and breeder for Noodle Way and River City puppies. As a coach, my philosophy is simple. A Cavoodle should always complement your lifestyle, not complicate it. And this is the foundation to everything I teach. For almost the past decade, I have been working in the breeding, training, grooming, and veterinary sectors of the small animal industry. I've also been raising Cavoodles for the past 16 years, so I have definitely learned a thing or two about the breed along the way. Now this podcast is all about Cavoodles. Raising Cavoodles, training Cavoodles, grooming Cavoodles, breeding Cavoodles, and how to shape the behaviour of a Cavoodle puppy. So if you're a Cavoodle parent or you are looking at adding a Cavoodle to your family soon, then this podcast is for you. New episodes will be released each Tuesday morning and you can follow me across all social media under the name @OodleWay for more tips and advice on Cavoodles. Thanks for tuning in. Hello and welcome back to episode 35 of the Cavoodle Coach podcast. My name is Tiana Karamayas and I'm your host, and I am so excited to be back here for another year of podcast episodes. Happy 2025 everyone. I hope you had a magical Christmas and spent a lot of time relaxing with your loved ones, cuddling your puppies, and just overall very much enjoying yourself. I know I definitely did. In my last episode, we did a recap of 2024, and then the episode before that, I spoke about how I was preparing to leave my 6-month-old Cavoodle for the first time. So over the holidays, I did go away for 2 weeks, and I did leave Joey back with my parents, and I'm going to do a little recap on how that went in maybe next week's episode. I want to let him adjust back to being at home first. I only picked him up 2 days ago, so I'll give him a week and then I'll give you an update on how that went with any tips that I have for families who are also looking to go away on holidays. But in today's episode, what I was thinking was, it was Christmas. A lot of people get puppies for Christmas. It's a fantastic time to get puppies. A lot of people have time off work. The kids are home on school holidays. And so there usually is, a pretty big influx of families getting Cavoodles. So for this episode, what I wanted to do is I wanted to talk about 5 decisions you need to make now if you got a puppy over Christmas. The reason why this is so fitting is because when it's Christmas and you add a puppy in the mix, it's very, very busy. And for a lot of families, you're mixed up in the festivities, presents, holidaying, and you don't really get a lot of time to focus on the puppy. And usually what happens, the new year clicks over and you have a puppy and you go, all right, what do we do with this puppy? How do we train this puppy? Maybe the puppy has been having toileting accidents. Maybe the puppy has been waking up all night. Maybe the puppy is biting your ankles and barking at you. And you start to wonder, okay, what do? We need to get on top of this. And that sort of coincides with the whole New Year spirit, where everyone wants to start the new year off with a bang, and they want to have a plan and they want to get straight into action. So this episode is for you. If you got a puppy over Christmas, keep on listening. So the very first decision you have to make if you got a puppy over Christmas is you need to decide where in the house your puppy has access to, and you need to place structure on your puppy. Now, it may have looked like for the past couple of weeks over Christmas, maybe your puppy just had access to the whole house. Maybe they were going in the kids' bedrooms, on the couch, upstairs, downstairs, outside. Maybe there was no structure. And if that's you, what you have to do is you have to sit down and think, okay, where's my puppy's toilet? Where is the designated toileting place? And what room surrounds it? This is where your puppy needs access to. And you need to create some structure for your puppy. Puppies absolutely thrive on structure. They're like toddlers, they're like babies. If you can make their routine predictable, if you make it the same every single day as much as possible, that's when your puppy feels relaxed, they feel comfortable, they know what to expect, and it means their overall demeanor is a lot calmer, and you start to get a really good understanding of your puppy's body language and what to do with your puppy during the day to complement your schedule. So I cannot recommend enough how important it is to provide structure for your puppy, and that includes where they have access in the house. We need to lay those boundaries down. We need to stay firm with those boundaries, and we need to make sure we are not miscommunicating to our puppy. The second you start miscommunicating to your puppy, one day they can go on the couch, one day they can't, one day they can go down the hallway, the next day they can't. This is when your puppy gets confused, and as soon as the puppy feels confused, they're going to get overwhelmed, they're going to get frustrated, they're going to have a rise in emotions, and when that frustration is felt, what's going to happen is your puppy is going to start to get a bit of an adrenaline rush, and then they start to perform a whole long list of involuntary actions, such as barking, digging, chewing, jumping, toileting accidents, and that's their body's natural way to try and calm themselves down. So as much as possible, when you bring a puppy home, your job is to make sure your puppy's emotions stay under control with no huge spikes of excitement or frustration or anxiety. And one of the easiest ways to create that frustration and that anxiety in a puppy is through that miscommunication. So lay down your boundaries, choose the area of the house your puppy has access to, and start implementing that structure. The second decision you need to make is you have to decide on your training goals. So what is your goal with your puppy? And to help you make this decision, what I want to ask is, if you're listening to this episode and you're not driving, please don't do this if you're driving, but if you're at home, just take 30 seconds to close your eyes and to imagine your puppy is 1 year old or 2 years old, and imagine what your lifestyle looks like with your puppy. Imagine all your different family members interacting with your puppy. Imagine what you're doing with your puppy, and just take a moment to really think about it. Now, in your head, there's going to be a vision coming to your mind. This is probably the same vision you had when you decided to get a puppy. And what I want you to do is I want you to look at that vision, take a step back, look at it from a third perspective, kind of a bird's eye view, and just think, okay, what is my puppy doing? How are they behaving? And whatever your answer is, that is the training you have to be focusing on now when your puppy is young. From 3 to 12 weeks of age, your puppy is in something called their critical socialization period. It is the single most influential time in your puppy's life where you can shape their demeanor, shape their behavior, shape their perspective of the world to really fit into the lifestyle you really desire. And so whatever vision you have for your life with your puppy needs to be doing that vision and that lifestyle now, and you need to be making sure you're taking the appropriate training steps to shape their behaviors to be positive, calm, and neutral in these scenarios. What tends to happen, and I'm going to give you a very typical example, is a family decides to get a Cavoodle. They are a beautiful breed, fantastic family dogs, and what they envision is taking their puppies to soccer matches for their kids, to different cafes, to the beach, walking along the boardwalk if you're in Brisbane, just doing a lot with their puppy and taking their puppy to whatever they're doing in their life. When people get Cavoodles, typically it's to pretty much add a family member to the family and do the same thing with the puppy as they would with the other children or the other family members. And so if that is the lifestyle you are envisioning with your puppy, something really important to keep in mind is that Cavoodles, they are prone to anxiety. And if we don't build their confidence up when they are young, if we don't show them that cafes are safe, that water is nothing to be scared of, that the bus driving past isn't, an anxiety-inducing experience, that the soccer ball and the whistles being blown and all the kids around is nothing to be worried about, if we don't show them that when they are young, what's going to happen is you'll try and take your puppy or your older puppy, your adult dog, onto these experiences, and your puppy is going to have a huge rush of anxiety or a huge rush of overexcitement. And like I said before, when your puppy feels that really big rush of emotions, it overtakes their body and they're unable to think, they're unable to focus on you. And what you'll see is barking, pulling on the lead, toileting accidents, crying, scratching, jumping, literally everything you don't want to see in a puppy. And what it means is it'll make your life really, really hard, and you will be restricted by your Cavoodle instead of having the flexibility to involve them in your life. My motto as a Cavoodle puppy coach is that your Cavoodle should always complement your lifestyle and not complicate it. The number one way a Cavoodle complicates your lifestyle is if they have anxiety and if they suffer from anxiety. And if you are not doing the proper training for them when they are young, designed to fit your lifestyle, then that's something your puppy can very well suffer from, and that takes a lot, months and months, even years of counter conditioning training, and it's expensive when you employ behavioralists. So when you bring your puppy home, and if you've just gotten a Cavoodle, it's really important that you do the right training now while your puppy is in that critical socialization period, and that's going to give you the best chance of having that dream puppy that you have always envisioned. Now, the third decision you have to make is you have to figure out, okay, how do I learn best? So whoever in the family is going to be the head trainer of this puppy, everyone is going to get involved, absolutely, but usually there's one person who kind of takes the reins and sort of directs the training and then helps teach the other family members. But you have to think to yourself, how do I learn best? Is it when I can do it at my own pace? Is it when I'm held accountable in a group setting? Is it when I'm doing training in person? Do I physically have to leave my house? Or does it suit me better to have the training online so that it can fit around my schedule with work, with kids, with other commitments? Is it better if you have that one-on-one training, or do you like it when you have other families that you can bounce off and you can see how their puppy's reacting, and then it can help you with your own puppy? It's really important that you make that decision on how you learn best, because if you pick a training style that suits you best, you will stay committed, you will understand what you're doing, and then you'll be able to implement it with your puppy so much more easily, and your puppy will actually understand you. So there is more than one option out there when it comes to puppy training. It doesn't just mean puppy school. There are behavioralists you can work on one-on-one with who can come to your house. There is puppy school. There's my Cavoodle Puppy Planner program, which is all self-paced, but you get to work in a group setting, and you can speak to me every week for 4 weeks as you follow my daily schedules, my daily training schedules. And that is very much a supportive community where you can go along on this journey with other families who have Cavoodles. You can lean on them for support, and you can lean on me for support if you like that opportunity to ask a trainer behavior questions, not just how do I improve my dog's sit or my dog's stay. So have a think about how you learn best. Do some Googling, and once you've decided how you learn best, the next decision you have to make is you have to choose a trainer or a program. This is a very, very important decision. If you have a Cavoodle puppy, you got them over Christmas, and you haven't yet started training, that should be your number one item on your to-do list. Like I said, that critical socialization period, it's 3 to 12 weeks of age. Your puppy is likely already past 8 weeks old, which means you only have a matter of weeks before they exit this period. And this period, like I said, is the most influential period for your puppy's personality and demeanor as an adult dog. So you cannot miss this period of development. You have to be properly utilizing every single day of your puppy's critical socialization period. This means proper socializing, proper training, behavior shaping to your dream lifestyle with your puppy, desensitizing, enrichment, emotional regulation, impulse control, all the things. It sounds like a lot, and to be honest, it is a lot. Having a puppy is a big responsibility, and you need to commit to their training to get the puppy you want. Otherwise, if you don't commit to their proper training now, you're going to have a Cavoodle down the track who does suffer from behavioral issues, and this is going to make it really, really restrictive on your family, and it's going to cost a lot more down the track to train these behaviors out of them, and you might not get the same success. Your puppy is young now, their brain is like a sponge. This is the time where you need to dedicate all of your spare time to their proper training. So you have to choose your training program. Now, if you were listening to the decision before this on picking a training style, and you do like a self-paced program but in a group setting, and you do like a program that is specific to Cavoodles, I would really love to see you in my Cavoodle Puppy Planner program. This program is something I hold very closely to my heart. It is the exact 4 weeks of socializing, training, grooming, impulse control, emotional regulation, the exact same schedule I use on my own Cavoodle puppies when I have them. To be honest, what I did is I actually kept a puppy from my recent litter of Cavoodles. Little Joey is his name, and I kept him for the sole purpose of filming and documenting the first 4 weeks with him between 8 to 12 weeks of age. And then I have put it in this Cavoodle Puppy Planner program. I've given you the daily schedules that I followed to the T, and then I've paired it with all that extra support where each week you can jump online and you can speak to me. So if that really sounds like something you would love, and you love to be able to watch training videos over and over so that you can refresh your memory, and you want to be able to have that support with a Cavoodle puppy coach, then you can click the link in the show notes. I would love to see you in the program, and I would love to meet you and your puppy. And it would make me so happy to meet you. So hopefully I will see some people in there. But this now leads me to the fifth and my final decision that I think families need to make if you've got a puppy over Christmas. And that is, are you planning to groom your dog, or are you sending them to a groomer? I know this question, you're probably like, wow, that was nowhere near my train of thought, but this is important. Cavoodles have hair, not fur. And because they have hair grows, and it grows long, and it grows matted, and it needs to be cut. And for Cavoodles, they need a full groom every 6 to 8 weeks of their life. And so if you have a puppy right now, it's very likely that the hair on their paws are getting a bit long. Maybe their feet are starting to look like Grinch feet. The hair between their eyes is growing. It's summertime in Australia. Your puppy is probably getting hot. So they're going to need a groom very, very soon. And you have to decide whether you're going to do that yourself. Spoiler, it's very, very easy, and I do it myself, and it's very achievable, and I do have a program that teaches you how to fully groom your Cavoodle from home. Or you decide to send them to a groomer, which is another fantastic option. But either option, whichever way you decide to go, your Cavoodle is going to need a whole list of desensitization practice. And this desensitization practice has to happen every single day so that we can properly expose them to the handling, grow their confidence with baths, brushes, blow dryers, and scissors, so that we can groom them without that anxiety showing up and causing our puppy a lot of stress. So whichever direction you want to go in, the work starts now. You don't just send them to the groomer without any practice, and you don't just groom your dog yourself without preparing them for that either. So you have to decide, are you going to groom yourself? Do you want to give it a go? It saves you a lot of money. It increases the bond between you and your puppy. It's actually really fun, and it's so much easier than you think. And if you do want to groom your puppy yourself, like I said, I do have a Cavoodle puppy grooming program where you can learn to fully groom your puppy. Or if you just want to ease your toes into it, give it a little try first. My Cavoodle Puppy Planner program with those 4 weeks of daily schedules, in that program, you'll learn how to do a puppy hygiene tidy, which is where you'll wash your puppy, you'll brush your puppy, you'll blow dry your puppy, and then you'll trim between their eyes, you'll tidy up their hygiene area, and you'll trim their paws. And that's a really nice way for you to dip your toes into the grooming process before you fully decide to take it on yourself and buy all of the tools. So with that, whichever option you decide, make sure that's on your list. Decide whether you're going to be the groomer or you're going to send your puppy to the groomer, and then start doing the correct preparation work for either option. Okay, so those were my 5 decisions that you need to make now if you got a Cavoodle over Christmas. I hope it's given you something to think about. If you are going through that and you've gotten to the training section and you're not really sure which option suits you best, feel free to either send me an email, hello@oodleway.co, or send me a DM on Instagram. My Instagram handle is just @oodleway. And then you can let me know if you're tossing up between puppy school, a behavioralist, or my program, and I can let you know what I think is going to suit you best with your family dynamic. So reach out to me if you want that extra help. Otherwise, I hope I see some of you in my program. I would love to see your Cavoodles. And I will see you next week for the third week of January, but the second episode of the year. Thank you for hanging around. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate all the support, and I can't wait to speak next week. Okay, this has been your Cavoodle coach, Tiana Karamayas. I'll see you later. Bye.